you almost have to go linebacker because you can get a good receiver later on.
I can get a tight end.
I told you this was an ambush.
No, it's not. It's testing your knowledge. One of the best villains of all time.
Oh, no doubt. Coming up on the Get Loud podcast, you hate lists.
I really do hate lists. All lists. Not just some lists, all lists.
So we're going to have a list. Also, you're going to be all over Bram.
I just want the truth to come out.
Yeah.
And can I say this? The older players, 60s, 50s, 70s, better than us new players.
Oh, and the great barbecue debate.
Yes. Are they wrong? Are they right?
Welcome inside the Big Bear AI Command Center studio. It is the Get Loud podcast presented by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of your Washington Commanders.
Big Bear.
Well, find tickets to Commanders games and more at SeatGeek. Fred Smoot.
Yes,
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Yes, it's a dark time.
Whoa, jeez.
Yeah, well, you know I hate lists.
Oh, that's right. We're going to do lists because the draft is here.
Think about
Why do you hate lists so much?
as a child. Did
Oh.
you ever get a list you like? Because your mom be like, hey, here go the chores list. And I'd be like, oh,
My mom used to leave me lists all the time.
on the refrigerator.
Yes.
Like
Do
every time
this.
I ain't never seen a list unless it was like DB rankings in college or something
And you're
that I actually like.
Because you're like, I'm number one on that list.
Yeah. Like, so, but every other time that I got a list, it usually it's bad.
Yeah.
Like if
Chores.
like eat chores or when you're in high school, your girl give you a Valentine list.
This is what I want.
Like you get like usually a list is bad for us.
Mhm.
Right? So I don't know why all of a sudden they got so popular, people's opinion of what they think these things is and what these lists should be. I just think it's subjective.
Oh, and you know what it is too? It's to get people talking, right?
It's to get people
It's
riled
to
up.
get people debating because if you list someone way too high on a draft list or something, people lose their minds.
Well, they're just like athletes. Can you really grade them against each other? How could you grade Santana Moss against Randy Moss when he didn't have the quality quarterbacks that Randy
Right.
had? Is that fair?
No?
So the list is subjective.
I mean, Randy's one of the greats, and also Santana. I always feel bad for Santana just because he just never
had the guy.
He never had the guy. Though.
And ain't that half the battle?
Yes.
So I can't. I'm a big Reggie Miller fan. Why did I like Reggie? He upset the apple cart.
Mm-hmm.
The apple cart was Michael. But he had one hater who refused to back down. And that was my guy, Reggie Miller, which nobody ever brings him up. He was
Reggie was a killer.
He was Steph Curry with a bigger edge, shooting just as many threes.
And talk about an edge. Like Steph is very likable.
No.
Very genial.
Steph gonna egg at you with a smile.
Right.
Reggie gonna do it with a snark.
Well, yeah. Steph's gonna go night-night.
Yeah.
Kind of smile at you. Reggie,
It's going right to
it's
Spike
gonna
Lee.
go right at you, right?
Right to Spike Lee.
And do the choke.
Yes.
Yeah, he was harsh.
So,
man.
I'm just saying, lists are subjective.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the eye of the beholder. Because you can't tell nobody in New York that Patrick Ewing ain't the best center they ever played.
Right.
They believe that with all of their heart. So, therefore, list subjective.
Guys, give us a call, 703-726-7419, or you can email us, WashingtonGetLoud@gmail.com. Please like the video and subscribe to the Commanders YouTube channel. Guys, don't forget, Get Loud is going late night, Friday night, early morning the 14th. We're going to be live. Well, this show is going to be on 1:35 in the morning, WUSA 9. Check it out. You get behind-the-scenes stories from the Super Bowl, Fred's business decision, exclusive draft talk. So do not
Just
miss it.
tidbits of some of our best shows. of the year.
Yeah. Bram's coming up later on the show. We're going to talk some draft, and you are going to grill him.
I'm going to grill Bram about his knowledge of this franchise. And you the voice?
Yeah.
Grill you, because guess what? Next time somebody grill him, he got all the answers. And guess who helped him out?
You.
Thank you.
Anna, how you doing? Anna's here. I
I'm
looked over
great.
and I thought you were falling asleep.
A little bit, but hey, just happy to be
We
here.
just
It's
we
we
just
tape on
bore her.
Mondays.
I looked over and I see Anna go.
Oh, I'm like,
Yeah. We just bore her.
we gotta.
We just bore her to death.
I'm not bored.
If
I
she
She heard
promise.
we were doing
I was
these
reading.
lists today. And I think,
I found the list.
yeah, and you was like, yeah, I done did my job.
I mean, no, I've got nothing to say back to that.
All right.
You did a great job.
Let's start
Thanks,
this list.
appreciate that, guys.
Okay.
Excited to hear your thoughts.
As she like opens her eyes again, excited to hear you guys.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm really reading this list, but I'm also
It's all right.
Yes,
I'm
it's-
focusing.
It's ESPN's deepest
And
and
thinnest.
thinnest positions in the NFL free agency and draft. All right?
Number one,
Edge rusher.
that's the one.
Good year to need any sort of edge rusher at all. Bad year to need a true elite dude unless you like sending 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby. I think that's a fib. We don't know if a guy's elite until we know.
Mm-hmm.
You can't look at some of these college guys and say David Bailey ain't elite. Because I think he elite.
I think he is. I'm so he is I would love of all, like we've talked about this a lot. I think Bailey is the one guy that I would love to have on this
I
roster.
think he's the
just
most
don't-
complete
Yes.
edge rusher.
and fills such a position of need and would be best player available at 7. Is he going to get to 7 though?
We just got to give him a nickname. Because his first name and last name just
He's going to get
too
to 7.
regular.
I don't care. Let's give him a nickname.
Dob Bailey. We got to just give him a name.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I think it's some guys, and I think Bain can end up one of those dudes.
I was going to say I might want us to get Bane just so I can hear you say Bane
Bain.
for the next decade.
No, I got to get that voice down. You know what I'm saying? When I'm wearing that mask.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm back, man. Hey, one of the best villains of all time.
Oh, no
By
doubt.
the way, Liddell Betts, my
Okay.
old tailback.
Yeah.
We threw a Halloween party. He came as Bane, and it was so good.
Oh, he was like, he nailed it.
He had the mask on. He had everything. Shaved his head.
Oh, did he
It
really?
was beautiful.
Oh, that's
it
cool.
was. Plus, Jesus shaved his head because he was already going bald. But it was terrific. But I don't agree with them with edge rusher. I think it's some dudes in this draft.
Number 2, interior O-line, followed by corner, running back.
Yeah. They say on the O-line, good year to need a guard, bad year to need a really big center. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of big centers in this one, but it's just guards everywhere. A couple of tackles that's going to move the guard. Right?
Yeah.
So it's a couple of positional swings, but interiorly, this is a pretty good year to need an interior offensive lineman. And I think all the way to the 5th, 6th, 7th round.
And I feel like this is the one area where the Commanders don't need help compared to other positions.
Other positions.
Right.
Like this,
Right.
if you ever got a full belly at the table, it's them
Right.
guys. It's them guys, most definitely. Now, cornerback, which I feel like it's deep,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's just different playmakers. I think it's some dudes in this draft when it comes to corner. I'm talking outside guys. I'm talking inside guys. I'm talking number 1 corners. I'm talking number 2 corners. I'm talking, this is one of those drafts that's going to refill the cup at corner right here.
Okay.
This is what I call,
You think it's that deep?
I think it's so deep that it's going to run a lot of veterans out of the league. Like we
Okay.
have these positional drafts, and I think last year's draft ran a lot of, if I'm not mistaken, edge rushers out. Like it's gonna be a year that switched from older guys to youth.
Mm-hmm.
And this cornerback group is a good group. And when I say good group, they're a good group. They say good year to need a slot corner, bad year to need an outside corner with size, and I think that's totally false.
Okay.
I think they don't know what they're watching with that one. I think it's some tall, lengthy corners out there with a lot of length.
Running back at 4, safety at 5. Let me ask you about Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
So he's a special talent.
How special is the question?
Well, you better believe he's, I don't want to say generational, but certainly when you take a running back in the top 10, even in today's NFL, which is shifting a little bit more towards a running game, you better be sold on him.
All I'm going to say is when Detroit took Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round,
Mm-hmm.
everybody scoffed at it.
Mm-hmm.
He been breaking games open since he got in the league. Does he have an identifier? Yes, he runs a 4.3 flat. And seen him in person, he faster than that. I'm telling you that now.
Yeah.
He's probably 4.23 or
That's
something like that.
Smootalytics.
He is so fast. I don't know if Jeremiah Love have a definer like that. If I say Jeremiah Love, what's the first thing come to mind? When I say Jahmyr Gibbs, it's just speed.
It's just
sports
speed.
car.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love, close your eyes. What comes to mind?
Balance.
What? I could barely.
I'm just saying his ability to control himself and then take off, but he doesn't have the straight line speed of Jahmyr Gibbs.
When I watch him, who did I tell
You think he's faster than Gibbs?
He ain't no.
Yeah, I was like, no, right?
He reminds me of Darren McFadden. And Darren McFadden had a chance to be one of the top backs in the league. He just couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah.
That had a lot to do with how tall he was.
Okay.
Where Jeremiah Love is tall.
Yeah.
He's a tall running back. He's not a small running back. More of a galloper than he is somebody just quicking in and out the cuts. Supreme athlete, I just don't know if he ain't Adrian Peterson when he came out, because Lord knows.
Yeah.
He ain't Saquon. He ain't Jahmyr Gibbs. Name some other top backs in the league right now. He ain't James Cook. I put him on James Cook level.
Okay.
But it took James Cook a year or two.
And that means he's not a top 10 pick. Like, you're not taking James Cook in the top 10, all due respect.
But now he's a top 10 running back in the league.
Right. But can't you find, isn't this about positional value?
Yeah.
Right. Where it's like you can get, based on scheme, based on franchise, you can find a running back that maybe isn't Jeremiah Love, but who can be very effective and not have to waste a top 10 pick on a back.
Yeah. So you said position of value just doesn't meet it when you ain't that outlier.
Right.
All right.
Okay. 6 and 7, linebacker, offensive tackle. 8 is receiver.
I think we skipped safety, didn't we?
Oh, okay. Safety 5. Go ahead.
Good to need a safety this year. Good year to need a safety. It's a deep safety draft. Bad year to need a box safety. Do they even shop box safeties anymore?
I saw that and I was like, I mean.
Box safety means you're 2 sandwiches away from being a linebacker. Like, that's what they're telling you.
Right.
So, I don't know. I think it's some good safeties. I don't think it's a great safety, but I don't think box safety is a position no more. Safeties are swing safeties now.
Isn't that too specialized?
Now,
like too niche? Like, who is going to draft a box safety?
Nobody's drafting John Lynch right now.
Right.
A true box
safety. I need
safety.
a safety who can come up and play hard against the run.
That's what I need.
Right.
And play the pass. Like, you got to be able to do both. Yeah. All right. On to linebacker.
Linebacker at 6, followed by offensive tackle.
Good year to need a difference maker at linebacker. That says it all. Bad year to need a difference maker and not have a top 10 pick. So they saying basically if it ain't Sonny Styles or
Arvell Reese, you're out of luck.
So basically if I don't go to Ohio State to shop linebackers, it's none of them.
Yeah. Isn't that, you know what though, and I think this is going to be, like, let's say when you talk about positional value and you talk about depth, right? So when you see the Commanders at 7, let's say they can choose Carnell Tate. Let's say they have one of these 2 linebackers to choose from. Like, you almost have to go linebacker because you can get a good receiver later on.
I can get a Carnell Tate later.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I can't get a Sonny Styles, and I can't get a
Once those
Arvell
guys
Reese.
are gone,
they're
really
gone.
Right.
Because they are top end on this in a top end draft. Like, that's what it is. So, yeah. It's a good year to need a linebacker, and guess who needs one? We do. So that means also you don't have to get him in the top 10. That means it's some deeper guys back there.
Yeah.
I talked about Rodriguez with Logan last time. At the end of the day, it's a couple of guys that you can get.
Yeah, Logan said last week that there were, because he's looked at 127 players, that he saw up to like 25 guys who could make an impact in the NFL at receiver.
At receiver.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have 9 tight end.
8 wide receiver.
8 wide receiver. 9 tight end, which is your guy at Oregon, which you keep talking about, which I think is going to be a stud.
Sadiq.
The more I look at him,
Sadiq.
I was sort of familiar with him, and then based on you, I went and looked and started, I don't want to say studying the tape, let's give myself too much credit, but watching more highlights and learning more, and I was like, okay.
This dude can get the job done. All right, he's a Brock Bowers clone who has played high-end football and who's never been like because he's always been receivers he's sharing with. So he's never been like the number 1 go-to guy.
Yeah.
He knows how to share a plate. And I'm just saying, he's going to be too big for safeties.
Yeah.
And too fast for linebackers. That's a great mixture to have.
10, defensive tackle.
All right. Good year to need John Franklin Myers. And the funny part about it is, they saying that's the only person available in free agent.
Well, now we get down to the thin ones.
Yeah, that's what they said is a bad year for an impact defensive tackle on 3rd down. So basically they saying no pass rush interior, big draft.
There's hardly anyone available, yeah.
It's all edge. It's all edge. So now it makes you appreciate the Baines and the Avadors and all the other dudes from Miami, what they had, because it's not a big D tackle draft. In 11. Quarterback. Good year to need Mendoza. And Mendoza only.
That's even the free agent class. I mean,
Well, Malik, I think you got a starter there.
I think so, but he's only started 6 games.
And he looked good starting.
Obviously Tennessee was not great, but he has looked very good for the Packers in spurts.
What did I tell you when a quarterback go get loved on? He went got loved on in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Quarterback guru. That's all I'm saying. Bad year to need anyone else. That's what it says.
Because I like Malik a lot.
Yeah.
Like the ceiling is pretty high, but there's not a big sample size there.
The only thing I think could ruin him
Okay.
is going to the Jets.
That's just a no man's land for anyone.
No, for any position.
Any position.
No, I thought it was just quarterback for a while. Oh,
It's everyone.
it's just I'm gonna watch the dude name that get called for the Jets when he walk on stage. It could be any of these dudes.
He's going to be smiling like this.
Like
Ooh.
it's like winning the sweepstakes and them taxing you too
Yes.
much money. It's like I won the lottery, man, but I only got 73 cents. Hey, I'm praying for him. All right. Everything gets turned around eventually.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Golden State Warriors was a bad
They were
basketball
bad
franchise?
for a long time.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Because I do. All right. Teams turn around all the time. Because at one point, we didn't look at the Chicago Bulls the way we look at the Chicago Bulls right now. How dare you?
Right.
Never would. Never would. Even the Clippers. You remember those guys?
Yeah. Well, look, the Pistons were great. Then they were bad.
And now they are
now
back.
they look great
Cade
again.
Cunningham.
Cade is the dude,
He's
man.
a baller. Watch out for those. I don't even know what to call them now. I guess the Wizards. But they're going to be a good team.
They have a
next year.
lot of young talent.
They're going to be a good
Yeah,
team.
give them
next
time.
year. Yeah.
They got some young guns for sure. Guys, give us a call, 703-726-7419. Email us at wantstogetloud@gmail.com. Commanders fans, SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of Hail to the Commanders and here to help you experience all the action from football to funk and any other live events at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek has the tickets. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders and Northwest Stadium. As promised, we bring in the voice of the Commanders, Bram Weinstein, joining us. Bram, how you doing, man?
What's up? I like your set, guys. That is really nice.
They
Look at the
crushed
new
it.
stepped
digs.
it
Nice.
up. We stepped it up since I saw you in Chicago for the Super Bowl. By the way, could you tell the fans some of the interviews you did, some of the people you interviewed? Because you interviewed a ton of people.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we were not in Chicago. We were in San Francisco.
I said San Fran,
but
didn't I?
secondarily,
Chicago in my back of my mind.
Yeah. Let's see. We had Riggo on. You guys had Riggo on too for like when he was auctioning off the famous Super Bowl jersey of the greatest play in team history. Let's see. Patrick Willis came on with us. Jeff Garcia came on with us. Fred Smoot, the one and only Fred Smoot, came on with us.
Yeah, I did.
And a number of others. So it's nice that when you're wearing the shield, which I was for the Super Bowl week, that seems to attract the Illuminati. So it was fun.
Yeah, but you're responsible by like the alumni, the NFL alumni or something, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I was helping out the NFL alumni. They've been trying to build out some content and try to build out kind of an arm to express all the different things that they're doing really well in all the different communities using the name of the NFL players and the NFL alumni. And so I get to go out there and hang out with them. And because the shield's on my chest, we get to talk to all sorts of different people. So it was fun. And then I got to hang out with you guys too. We ended up being neighbors on Radio Row. So that was fun.
Yeah, we were.
So, Bram, let me ask you this. Whenever you get to interview so many different players like that, is there someone that you came away with a different appreciation for or someone who surprised you? Or maybe even someone you talked to before, but always find it fascinating when you sort of get to pull back the veil a little bit?
Mine was
Actually,
Andre Reed.
It was Andre Reed. It was actually a couple current players.
Okay.
You know how Radio Row goes. Everybody's available to you, but they're pitching something, right?
Yeah.
It's something. And in some cases, it's basically an advertisement. And in some cases, it's actually some kind of charitable prerogative that they have. And I'll tell you the guy that actually really stood out to me was Joe Milton, the backup quarterback for the Cowboys who came on, and he was basically talking about how to help underprivileged kids of single moms. And he told a very personal story of how he grew up and what his mom did for him and how he was able to kind of ascend up in his career and like without her support. But he's trying to help the kids that don't have the resources that he ended up having. And obviously he had a lot of natural talent. He could throw the ball farther than anybody on earth. And so there were some stories like that were like, those were really, because you know how this goes. Like, Fred, you've been doing this forever. Everyone wants to ask you about football. They don't want to ask you about you.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody's got these stories. And there were a number of them from a number of the ex-players and the current players who came on. Nakobe Dean, similarly, free agent now, Eagles linebacker, telling stories about his background and how he wants to give back because it was a struggle for him to end up getting where he ended up getting to go to Georgia, to be drafted really high, to have an NFL career, see where he goes next. And I thought that stuff was really cool to have an opportunity to meet those guys and learn a lot more about them than just what they do on the field.
Bram, let's talk draft now. So,
all right,
you know the drill. We're sitting here at 7. Before I ask you about a guy you might take, position of need, offense, defense, any of that, what is the case for trading back?
The case for trading back is we could use some more draft picks. We're a little short stacked this year. We don't have a second round pick. So really, to me, that is honestly because at 7, I see a path to which there are 2, 3, 4 prospects that all look really good to me, sitting at number 7 at a variety of different positions. So if there is a small move back, because say someone falls in love with Jeremiah Love, maybe, right? Someone looks at him, sees him as a special talent. This is probably not a direction that we're going, not that high. And they want to jump somebody before he goes off the board. If that helps us accrue another pick or 2, specifically in this draft, where it feels very heavy in the second and third rounds, I think that would be a win for this team. That said, I think we could all agree that they need impact players. And I think, specifically on defense, although there's a couple offensive names that like we could really point out and say they might be available and be really good additions for them. So I think they're sitting in a really good spot here because they don't need a quarterback, because they could do a luxury pick, I think, at receiver or running back, and because the needs on defense really stand out, and it looks like it's going to land with 3 or 4 choices that all feel really good here that could come in and be impact players. I think they're in a good spot, but I really would like to see them trade back and get some of that draft capital back.
But here go the thing, Bram. Trading back is the necessity of the team that's trading up. And the one thing this is a good quarterback draft. It's 2 positions that make people climb into the top 10. That's left tackle, right tackle, and quarterback. And right now, unless Ty Simpson blows the combine away, and now that Chamberlain has taken his name out of the hat, I don't know a quarterback that's moving the needle enough to make somebody go up to 10 and give us draft capital to come in there to get number 7.
I 100% agree. When the Oregon quarterback dropped out, went back to school, that was ding number 1. When a court decided that Trinidad Chambliss could go back to school because there's no such thing as eligibility anymore, that was ding number 2. So I agree with you that most of the time that's what people want to move up for. But I am looking at Jeremiah Love because if you are what you feel contending type team and you want to go get your Jahmyr Gibbs and try to jump up, he's a special talent. So he's not going to be for everybody at that spot, and everybody will talk about positional value. But I could see there are a couple of teams that have contending type rosters that have multiple first round draft picks and might look at something like that and say, we could go get one of the best players off the board. Yeah. And I think that would be a scenario by which I think would really be beneficial to Washington, because that's where he's probably sitting squarely around 7, where people start eyeing when is he going to go off the board. But I agree with you. It's unlikely because most of the time what a team wants to get is a quarterback, a tackle, a major edge rusher, sometimes a corner, if you think it's a special corner, the high-profile, high-priced positions that you want to get in early.
Yep. And it's only one offensive player that I felt in the first round I wouldn't be second guessing if our team drafted him. But we can only draft him if we do trade down. And that's the tight end from Oregon, Kenyon Sadiq.
Yes.
I think he's a matchup nightmare. I think he's one of those guys that's going to instantly, like Brock Bowers, bring credibility to a quarterback and also becomes his a escape piece, the piece that keeps the drive going. I think he's that dude. He's a well-rounded tight end, but I think everybody wants us to go defense. So you're talking about David Bailey. You're talking about Bain. You're talking about Sonny Styles falling into you. How do you feel about those three guys?
So I think this is why I like the position at 7. I think they're going to have the opportunity to get an impact player immediately. You know who number 1 is? That's a quarterback. You know there's a tackle or two that's going in the top 6.
Fun.
So
yeah.
there's only so many players that can be selected ahead of you. I like Caleb Downs too, and he could be an impact player and might be the best athlete on the board.
There go the question. When you look at Caleb Downs, when I watch him, he looks like a souped-up Barb Sanders. All right, that's what he looked. As a former DB, I asked myself, who could have a bigger impact on this team, Caleb Downs or David Bailey? I think it's David Bailey. I say Caleb Downs or Bain. I think it's Bain. I say Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles. I think it's Sonny Styles.
Yeah, so I would agree. And this, listen, I'm no scout, but this is just my opinion. I think Bailey's the best of the edge rushers. That's my opinion.
Me too.
I don't think he's going to get to 7, but who knows? And if he does, that feels like a very logical pick for them. Bain is going to be interesting, and I'll be really interested. I talked to Logan about this the other day. He played with a great unit, right? There is a second Miami defensive lineman that's going to be drafted very, very high. And I always wonder, how does that affect someone's stock and how you view somebody if they're playing with elite first-round pick talent sitting next to them? That's probably what's happened with Georgia and Alabama players through the years, over the last few years. And in this case, also with Ohio State, they have potentially 3 defensive players going in the top 10. 3. So how do you view each of them singularly when all 3 of them collectively were able to do the things they were able to do? So that's an interesting question too. I like Caleb Downs. I really like Sonny Styles. There's going to be a lot of people, if you take a linebacker that high, that ding you for what they call positional value, because typically running backs, linebackers, they don't hit the market at those rates. Listen, if he's going to be Fred Warner, then I would like to select him. And if you see a number of all these draft analysts who cover this really, really closely, and they're calling him and Caleb Downs 1-2 as the best prospects coming out in the draft, I don't think there's anything wrong at 7 with taking literally who you think is going to be the best player. And I couldn't agree more about the Oregon tight end, who I think is going to be a stud. I just don't think that he's our fit for 7, and I do feel like we're going defense. But in a different year or with a second first-round pick, I wouldn't even blink at taking him and putting him next to Jaden Daniels.
Bram, let me ask you this. So there are some mock drafts out there that have Carnell Tate going to the Commanders at 7. Is that too high for a receiver, particularly when we were talking to Logan, and he was saying, look, if you look at the receiver class, it's
not for a receiver, but for that particular receiver.
Right. Well, like we were saying, it's not a Jamar Chase.
Not just the Jenkins.
It's not JSN. This is Carnell Tate. No offense, but in a deep class, is that a reach at 7?
So, okay, I'm going to lean more on Fred on this one. If he's the best receiver in the draft, going 7 is not unusual anymore. That is also a high-priced position. So you're not going to get this positional value stuff talking about it. If he's going to be Malik Neighbors, are you going to have a problem with that? Because I'm not, right? If that's what you're going to get. But is he going to end up being that? I don't really know. The other interesting thing with him, which is just funny, is he wears 17 from Ohio State. So to walk into this place having worn 17 at Ohio State's is interesting. But I don't believe we're going in that direction. I believe we're going defense. I don't know, but I believe that. That said, what they do in free agency will be very instructive with what they do in the draft. If they go and they spend a lot of money on an edge rusher, and they spend a lot of money on a corner, or they spend some money on a linebacker, or they look at, if they spend a lot of free agency money on the defense, then it doesn't prohibit them from going defense, but it might instruct that they are looking at someone like Carnell Tate to add to the offense. And similarly, if they traded down and got assets and got the tight end you're talking about, I don't think anybody would complain about that either. So I do think we need to see what happens in free agency with them. They're going to spend money. They feel like they need to. They have a lot of holes to try to fill. They have a lot of cap room to spare. They can make more with some maneuvers that haven't happened yet. So they're going to be a player here. how aggressive they are and what needs they fill, I think that will tell us whether Carnell Tate is really on the board for them at number 7.
All right. Now we're at the moment we all been waiting for. Well, I'm about to test your knowledge, all right? I'm about to see how much
Also
Washington
known as
knowledge.
an ambush.
No, you're not getting ambushed, Bram. You're not. Because we only doing offensive stats, offensive players, and we're going to go through the positions now. First question. Who is the all-time leader in touchdown passes in team history with 187 touchdown passes?
I'm going to say that's Sonny Jurgensen. Am I right?
I'm going to give you one more chance. All right? I'm going to give you one more. I'm going to say this. Dig a little deeper on that one.
So, okay. All right. So 187 touchdown passes.
Yes.
You want to give me a hint of an era if it's not Sonny?
They didn't even have face masks.
All right. So Sammy Baugh. Sammy
Thank
Baugh
you.
has to be the all-time leader.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
See, now, I didn't think they threw the ball enough to actually get a number like that when he played.
But that's how you get the name, Slinging Sammy Baugh. You were slinging
right.
it before everybody. All right. Second, the all-time leading rusher in touchdowns on the team.
Ooh. I would think that that's either Larry Brown or John Riggins.
John Riggins, it is. You can't be picking two people all the time, Bram.
Well, I
All
get
right.
to make the rules a little bit. Did you know? How about this one? About this on John Riggins? How about this one for a good trivia question? Remember Saquon Barkley last year had 2,000 yards rushing and had the crazy playoff run?
Yeah.
Where he had, I don't remember, who knows how many yards he had in that
600.
playoff run?
Yeah.
600. John Riggins still holds the record for the most rushing yards in a single postseason over Saquon Barkley.
Wow.
Oh,
That's a good one.
congratulations.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go fullback. Who has the most rushing touchdowns as a fullback? And I'm going to give you this. Us new school guys have done nothing. All of these guys are from a time when TV was a luxury.
Oh, fullback. Oh, my God. I don't know. Because I want to say Mike Sellers because I loved him. So so who is it?
It's with 22 touchdowns, Don Boschler. You remember him? Number 31? He played in, I think, 1950.
Come on.
All right. Rushing touchdowns for quarterbacks. This should be easy.
Ooh. Rushing touchdown for a quarterback?
For quarterbacks.
A rushing touchdown for our quarterbacks. Is it Robert?
No. I told you, us new guys done nothing. It's the old guys.
Is it old guy? Is it Sonny?
All right,
Sonny
I'm going to
Evans?
tell you this. This the only quarterback to return punts.
Sammy Baugh?
No, Joe Theismann, man. Joe T.
You know Sammy Baugh was a punter and a corner?
No, I know he was, but
too?
people forget that Joe Theismann used to return punts.
That's right.
All
He
right.
did.
All right.
Theismann. Okay.
Receiving touchdowns for receivers. We're at 71.
Art Monk?
No.
Art Monk doesn't hold the record for most. He's got the most yards in team history.
He got the most
He's got
yards, not the most
receptions in team
touchdowns.
history. Not the most touchdowns. So Gary Clark.
Come on, man.
Charlie Taylor.
Charlie Taylor. You are right with 72.
Thank God.
All right. Tight ends.
I told you this was an ambush.
No,
told
it's
you.
not. It's testing your knowledge. Tight end receiving touchdowns.
Jerry Smith.
Jerry Smith, you are correct with 60 touchdowns. All right. Receiving touchdowns for a running back.
Oh, Lord.
You got it at the tip of your tongue.
Touchdowns for a running back.
20. He caught 20 touchdowns.
20. Give me an era. I need an era.
All right. 70s.
The 70s. Larry Brown.
Larry Brown. You are correct. All right. Receiving touchdowns for a fullback.
The guy you said earlier.
No,
That guy.
it's not. But his era, what does this era look like, Jinx?
Gee, the
The
1800s.
50s, the 50s out of 6.
It looks like
Grease
Frankenstein.
Lightning had just came out for the first time.
Yeah, if this is before I'm born, it's going to be a problem.
Yes,
Who is
Todd. It was Todd. That's my last one. You can get it right. It was Todd. He led it in receiving. That's what I
Fine.
said. None of the new school guys, the Santana Mosses, the Stephen Davis, the Chris Cooley's, the Robert Griffiths, none of them have moved the ink from these guys offensively. I got to take a look defensively next week and see what we did.
That shows you the history of this franchise, how
How
successful it's
deep
been.
it goes.
Yeah.
How deep it goes.
Sorry about the ambush, Bram.
You know, I was going to look up a couple things and Fred made me stop.
No,
'cause I
he was going to
gonna
reach
just
for his
cheat.
phone. See, I hate when everybody, now you ask them a question, the first thing they do, they want to go to Google. Google. Don't Google that. Think about it.
Yeah, Bram.
That's interesting. Joe Theismann leads the team in rushing. Well, Jaden's going to break that, but Joe Theismann leads the team in rushing touchdowns
With
for a quarterback at a
17.
time when quarterbacks never ran. That's interesting.
Yes, but Joe T ran.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yes. And then came along John Elway, who really heralded in what was
And
the
then-
modern running, passing quarterback.
And
Yes.
then Randall Cunningham really
Yes.
kicked it off him and Warren Moon.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a good call, too.
Yeah.
People forget about Randall.
No, Randall reminded me of Jaden. When Jaden came out, that was my comp for him. I said he reminds me of Randall Cunningham.
The next
Bram?
time we do this, I'm going to bring trivia questions for you.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I am Schmoostradamus. I get most questions right.
Thank you, Bram.
All right, guys. See ya.
Always great talking to Bram. Guys, give us a call on the house phone, please. It's lonely in the wintertime.
I sit beside the house phone. I'm that dude.
You waiting?
I wait for the phone call.
703-726-7419. WashingtonGetLoud@gmail.com. Let's talk about SeatGeek for a second. Commanders fans, SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of Hail to the Commanders and here to help you experience all of the action from football to funk and any other live events at Northwest Stadium. SeatGeek has the tickets. SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders and Northwest Stadium. And huddle up, Commanders fans. The Commanders Golden Pass raffle, operated by the Virginia Lottery, gives you the chance to win the ultimate fan experience: tickets, VIP treatment, special appearances by Washington legends, and so much more. Limited tickets are available, so visit VALottery.com/commanders to enter the raffle today. That is VALottery.com/commanders, and break. All right.
Love it.
Love it. Voicemails time.
Yes, voicemails time, but I realized I dragged the wrong ones in. But I think I found the first one.
All right. Anna's back.
I'm back. Okay.
Thanks, Anna, Kayla. This is C. Michael Henson.
Oh, see, Michael.
I just want to address something to Fred, something he said. I know y'all probably ain't going to get this to the next week, but something you said on the previous show about listening to the kids' music and about people our age don't like the music that our kids listen to. Fred, don't feel ashamed of that. Lean into that, because that's something that's been happening way back in the 20s and the 30s, way back when jazz officially switched from big band jazz to the bebop era. Parents will always shun the music of their kids. It's been happening since the 30s. So don't feel ashamed of that. All right, hail to the Commanders.
I appreciate that. But the good part, I love it when I can hear through my daughter's room her listening to my era.
Yeah.
So my daughter don't really listen to new era music.
Which is kind of crazy.
She in love with 80s and 90s R&B. That's
Yeah.
her thing. Now my other kids, I got Little Vertical, all these people that they listen to, it's just dudes in the music. And that's when I knew I was old. Like they say, you're finally grown when your music palette dies.
Yeah.
That's when you're grown.
It slowly starts to fade a little bit where you know it, but you don't know it, and you keep going back.
But you won't take on new.
It's hard.
Yeah, that's when it's hard, when you won't take on the new music. And when the new music feels beneath you.
Here's the thing. We'll listen to like today's top hits on Spotify all the time. So I try to keep up, and I know somewhat, but more and more I'll be like, next.
Yes.
Next.
Till you find something comfortable.
Yes, and even then I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna listen to a different playlist now.
Yeah.
Like that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Because then you just like you start being drawn back to what because music in so many ways it's about like memories too, right?
No, it's time stamped. Like if I put on some MC Hammer right now, smells will come back from you probably being a teenager.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, like the memories actually go back and attach probably to a high school dance or something.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's the true difference with the music. Once the music and the memories attach, ain't no disattaching them.
I remember when I was younger, I was like, that's not gonna happen to me. That's
I
not gonna
said
happen
the
to me.
same thing.
And everybody says it's not gonna happen until it does.
It does.
Until it does.
And it's you that want it to happen.
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm trying. Like there are some artists now I'm like, oh, I like this artist, I like this song. But for the most part, I keep being drawn back to those memories.
At one point, am I too grown to be riding down the street as a 46-year-old listening to Lil Uzi Vertical? I shouldn't have to do that.
It's like Kayla on Instagram posted a reel or a story of her listening to Tupac.
Yeah.
I think it was Ambitions as a Writer. It's like, yeah, it's Tupac.
That's
Old school.
Tupac.
Yeah.
But that's more of my style.
Yeah.
Like this, I never want to do this. I never want to say back in my day.
I know.
But back in my day, rap was rap. So now I got to pay to listen to something and work?
Well, also it's like, this is old school, but it's like the rappers that I grew up to hip hop, like you had something to say.
No, they had a message.
Like I had a message. Like Pac was like that.
A message.
Biggie was like that. Public Enemy was like that.
Everybody.
NWA was like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But now we're old.
I know.
Embrace the old.
Yeah.
Embrace the old. It's
That's
a privilege.
All right, this is our second and last voicemail today.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Mitch from Richmond. Just driving from Norfolk to Richmond. Hey, I had a question. If Jim Harbaugh can't do nothing with Lamar and the Ravens, what the hell's he going to do with the sorry-ass New York Giants? Y'all have a good one. Bye.
I thought he was saying it was Mitch Richmond, the basketball
player. Yeah.
Like
Mitch Richmond. Yeah.
When I heard Mitch Richmond, I was like, I know this ain't who I think it is. Because Mitch Richmond could shoot that
Yes,
rock.
he could.
Right?
Yes, he could.
But Mitch from Richmond, I understand what you're saying. Now, here go the thing, Mitch from Richmond. One little note that I doodled when he went to New York was no Super Bowl winning head coach has ever went to another team and won a Super Bowl.
Oh, didn't realize that.
Never.
Yeah, I'm like, why am I trying to think of one when
It's never happened.
I'm like, but yeah, that's right.
It's never. That's why I was so happy when the Cowboys hired, what's the name, 4 years ago?
McCarthy.
Yep. Never won the Super Bowl there. All right, so no, it's no you can't transfer the Super Bowl.
Right.
You can't. You just can't do it. And if some of the greats ain't never did it, Bill Parcells, all the rest of, like, I'm sorry, it's too hard. It's too hard. So I was happy to see Harbaugh going there. Now, is he gonna get them up to snuff?
Yes, he is. I was reading about how he's already brought in so many different support staff. Like he's completely realigning how the organization works.
Is he gonna clean up the mess?
Yes.
Yes. That's why you bring a coach like that in. But is he gonna win a Super Bowl? Survey in the past say no.
Do you think Harbaugh? It's an interesting question because he's won a Super Bowl, but kept sort of hitting the ceiling and giving up all those late leads forever when he was in Charm City. So what is your assessment of him? Because it's weird to reconcile those two things.
I know us as people, we hate pointing the finger, but I don't, all right? Because I watched the same games y'all did. Let's be honest. Lamar has been this close to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Let's think about the last time. What's my tight end name? The tight end for the Ravens.
Mark Andrews?
How many passes had he dropped at the red zone that Lamar put right on him?
But wasn't it just that one?
No. He has multiple crash out plays in the playoff to end their run.
Okay.
Put it like this. Lamar and Coach Harbaugh hadn't been the reason why they haven't got over the hump. I think it just got old in Baltimore.
Yeah.
It got old in Baltimore. But I don't think Lamar has. I think situations have been the thing. They haven't been able to close out a missed tackle here, a missed catch here. It's just been these plays.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget, Patrick Mahomes has been on the other sideline also.
Yeah.
That stops a lot. So if you're Lamar and you're Josh Allen, you're basically feeling what I call the Tom Brady effect that all the quarterbacks felt in my generation. The only one that broke it was Peyton, Drew Brees, and Eli.
Yeah.
So when you got a dominant quarterback in your era, Michael Jordan will define your era. That don't mean Charles Barkley not good. That don't mean Elijah One and Sean Kemp and Reggie Miller ain't good.
Their only problem was they ran up against MJ.
They ran up against the GOAT. All right? And guess what happened in the NFL? The GOAT retired and he had a baby GOAT. All right? And he came right in the league and picked up where he left off.
Yeah.
What era do you play in? And I tell you who the bad guys are.
That's right.
And we used to be the bad guys.
Yep.
Yep,
That's
was
it for our voicemails. All right.
Yeah.
You want to talk mock draft reactions here? Finish up?
Why not?
Daniel Jeremiah does mock drafts, I believe, for ESPN. Is that right?
Yeah, he does.
NFL Network.
NFL Network? ESPN. Should I just name every media outlet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does a lot of mock drafts, does some great work. So I'm looking at the mock draft here. Of course, Fernando Mendoza.
The Raiders, you getting a guy you don't deserve. Don't you ruin him. Don't you make him a Raider.
Isn't it crazy to think about Fernando Mendoza going to the Raiders?
They're just like with the first pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select Justin Timberlake and the rest are in sync. All right? This is a boy band. All right?
I got you right.
This is a good kid. All right? And Oakland, and the Raiders are known as villains and bad boys. Like it's just
Silver
I don't know.
and black.
It's just some that don't mix there. They getting this smiley face kid that's going to Las Vegas, but maybe that's a good mix.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be. I think he's going to be the perfect face for that franchise.
Yes,
and I think he's going to be a huge success. I mean, he's just proven he just wins and wins and wins and does whatever it takes.
And you putting him with Brock Byers at tight end.
Mm-hmm.
You got Asti Genty at tailback. You got some stuff over there.
Yeah, and by the way, I know a lot of people give Genty a hard time, and he wasn't great.
Worst offensive line in football.
Yes, like that matters.
Yes, every run started for him. Him getting hit by the first person a yard in the backfield.
I started to say every time he touched the ball, it's like I got two dudes in front of me already in the backfield.
Yeah.
So Daniel Jeremiah says he's got Mendoza, Bailey at 2 going to the Jets.
No Arvell Reese. Everybody has Arvell Reese. And I'm not sure Arvell Reese goes there high because
he has Arvell going to the Commanders.
I know it, but nobody knows his true position yet.
Okay.
Some people think he an edge. Some people think he a stand-up guy. Some people say he could do everything. I was always told, if you don't do nothing great, you better do everything else good.
Yeah. Do you like Reese at 7?
I just don't personally think he gonna get to 7.
Yeah, you think?
But if he gets to 7, it was meant for us to draft him. Like the only thing would say to me, if this is how it plays out, which one do I love better? Do I love Arvell and his upside, or do I love Sonny Styles and his upside?
I feel like and I know it's like flipping a coin with those two guys.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be able to say I might lean Reese, but you can make a case for either guy.
I could have Sonny Styles at the middle linebacker for the next. And his offensive his numbers profile jumps off just like our Reese. You got a guy that's 6'3", gonna run a 4.40, 40, like just an animal. The only thing I would say I'll be a little bit more comfortable about Sonny Styles is I know he's a good middle linebacker. I don't know what position Arvell Reese plays. And I don't know if you remember, years ago at Clemson, they had, what's the name at safety? 6'3", 235 pounds, and we didn't know what he was going to play in the league, and we still don't know.
It's an interesting thing to think about where sometimes it benefits a guy where you're so good we can put you anywhere, but then there are other guys who you can do a lot of things, but like you were saying, you're not necessarily
A specialist.
terrific or special at any one thing.
If I'm drafting you 6'4", 6'5", first thing come to my mind is you an edge.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't seen you rush the passer enough.
Yeah. I'm looking, I don't see Caleb Downs on here.
Listen.
That's a top 10 pick.
No.
You don't think so?
Let me ask you this. Would you take him before Kyle Hamilton?
No, but he's in that mold, isn't he? Isn't that the comp?
I'm just asking you a question.
Okay.
Would you take him before Kyle Hamilton?
Well, not now, no.
He was projected top 10 pick. Kyle Hamilton went 14. All right?
Right.
Would you take him before Darwin James?
Probably not.
No. Darwin James, predicted top 10 pick, 17. You getting the safety drill? They will predict you top 10, but nobody picks you in the top 10.
Yeah, people don't like picking safeties in the top 10.
They just don't.
Yeah.
No, they just don't. Unless you Sean Taylor, Ed Reed, they don't feel positional value.
He does have
in
Caleb
the top
Downs
10.
at 9.
Does he have? Oh, he Caleb Downs
He's
at 9.
Caleb.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, I don't think he go at 9. Every year we have one safety that they say going top 10 who they never go top 10. Do they end up showing their worth? Yes. But are they ever picked in the top 10? You can't name me the last safety picked in the top 10. But every year we get 2 of them.
I just think he's probably the most can't miss prospect, but he does play safe. So I understand
I
that.
don't feel that way.
Okay, who's the most can't miss prospect? Outside of Mendoza.
Outside of Mendoza, David Bailey, to me,
Yeah, Bailey's great.
as close as you can get.
To the Jets, too.
Francis Mulaga, the tackle from Miami. I think he's a baller. Ruben Baines, he gonna have shot arms for people, but I watch Hugh Douglas. I watch some guys, Dwight Freeney, be a menace.
I'm glad you mentioned that because a guy in the comments mentioned, he said, you guys aren't paying attention to the fact that short arms generally in the NFL are a no-go. And my response was, yes, for most players, but Ruben Bain is not most players. He has other athletic traits that make him great.
He got a motor
Yes.
that never runs out of gas. All right, there go the difference. All right, who else? Like I said, Arvell Reese is a puzzle that has to be figured out. And if you see all these mock drafts, it's no one consensus wide receiver. Some people like Malachi Lamone.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like Denzel Boston, who I played against. I think that's David Boston's son.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I played against his daddy. Yeah, this one of these pictures is us going at it.
Jordan Tyson, I think, out of Arizona.
Jordan Tyson, who's a baller. So it's no consensus wide receiver, and I think that's what got the rest of the top 10 just flipping all over the place.
And that's why I don't, when I see Tate projected to go to the Commanders in some drafts, not this one by Daniel Jeremiah, I'm like, yeah, but look at positional depth and receivers.
Plenty of depth.
There's plenty of depth, so don't take one that high unless you're 1,000% sold, as we've talked about, that he's some sort of generational receiver. Nothing against Carnell Tate. I don't think he is.
All right. It's always a quarterback that upset the apple cart.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it's Ty Simpson, Alabama. Out of these top teams, which team do you see? Because I don't see nobody in the top 10 picking him. Now, the question is, who's outside of the top 10 that can move up in the top 10, let's say to number 7 and grab him?
Who needs a quarterback right now?
All right. I would say right now.
Arizona's at 3. I mean, they're trying to trade Kyler, but he's too expensive.
All right, the Indianapolis Colts. If they re-sign Daniel Jones.
I think they're going to re-sign Daniel Jones.
He won't be healthy for this year to the end of the year.
But they can't take another quarterback after Anthony Richardson.
They're about to trade. They're about to do what all
They're going to send him
teams do.
elsewhere, right?
They're going to give up on this kid. And guess what we're going to see happen to him, Anthony Richardson? He's going to get traded to some playoff team like the Rams.
Okay.
He's going to sit behind Matthew Stafford for a year. And then McVay is going to turn him into Steve McNair.
Oh, no. I think Anthony Richardson in no way, shape, or form is a quarterback and never will be.
I think
I think he's a physical specimen.
Nope. I think all players have to be loved on.
Okay.
If you're not loved on, you will fail. He's not been loved on in the Colts. You knew when you took him out of college, he had only started 15 games. If I got a quarterback that's only started 15 games, first word is patience.
Didn't he take himself out of a game?
He did. All right? He don't know no better. If you knew better, you'll do better.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, we just watch McConnell do what he did with Daniel Jones, to do what he did, that Sam Darnold could go do what he did. I'm telling you now, Anthony Richardson, if he goes to anybody off the Shanahan tree, mainly McVay,
Okay.
because we've watched the Rams get away with this time and time again. If he wears that number 5 for the Rams, he's going to win the Super Bowl as the quarterback.
Really?
I'm telling you right now.
All right.
Because he gonna end up, especially if he sits behind Matthew Stafford and learn precision
Stafford only
pass.
has, what, a season or two left?
And
Maybe?
that's the perfect place to go sit and learn how to throw like him with this body and these feet.
Mm-hmm.
And this coach with Puka Nacua.
I don't know. I think he's such a great athlete, but I just don't think he's a quarterback.
I just don't think he's been around any quarterback gurus.
All right.
I don't think he has. I think he got all the talent. He just hasn't been sculpted into this precision pass, which I think he got it.
You want to geek out?
Yeah. I love to geek out. Why
you.
do I still got my earpiece in?
Yes.
I don't know why I got my earpiece in.
I've had mine, and I'd take it out too.
For no reason,
Yeah.
man. All right, check this out. This was I got. Since we always had this barbecue battle,
Okay.
I looked up on this, and I don't even know if this is a legit service, man.
Okay.
But they named themselves the Daily Rank Department. So
This
they
a
rank,
website?
Yeah, they rank stuff daily.
Okay.
That's their job.
All right.
Do I know they exist or not? I don't know, because I always ask, because I don't know, I got this thing with lists.
You hate lists.
They subjective.
Yeah.
Tell me who the voters are. All right? Don't tell me 90 people from Texas voted on this list. They biased. All right. These are the top 10 voted on by the Daily Ranking Department, the 10 best barbecue states in America as of 2026.
Okay.
Who do you think is at number 1?
Texas.
You saying that because you a Texas guy?
Both.
Or you just not gonna give nobody else no love?
I mean, Carolina, Kansas City.
All right.
I know you're gonna rep Mississippi.
Number 1 is the great state of Texas, and it's only because Texas is like 6 states.
It is.
All right.
Mm.
What do you think your percentage of votes were?
I think it's pretty high.
What you think?
Texas barbecue's famous.
What you think, Jim?
65%.
It was 73%. I could not believe it. And y'all really just beef based now.
Oh,
y'all
yeah.
don't do nothing with pork like the rest of the.
A little bit,
But
but it's
y'all-
mainly beef. You're
it's
right.
mainly beef.
Yeah.
All right. What state do you think came at number 2? Think about this.
I'm trying.
Barbecue.
North Carolina.
Actually, no. It's not.
Uh,
All right, I'm gonna give you a hint.
Missouri.
No, you're wrong again. I'm gonna give you a hint.
All right.
That barbecue and music,
Tennessee.
yes,
Memphis.
coincide. 37%.
Memphis barbecue is pretty dope.
I'm from Mississippi. We got them beat, man.
Oh,
I'm just telling y'all, we got fresher beef than them, fresher pork, and our cooks know what to do with it. So I felt that was wrong. That started me to down the value of the voters.
Okay.
At number 3, which I think gonna really blow you away. Who do you think came in at number 3?
But 3, it's gonna blow me away. Oh God, I don't know.
Put it like this: they known for other food.
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
It's Louisiana?
With 34% of
For
the
barbecue?
votes for barbecue.
No.
Okay, if you're going percentages wise, we've surpassed 100%. So it's
No,
just like,
no. This one doesn't have the 100%
Oh.
value, what's the name, meter on it. All right?
Oh, this is like 300.
This is like taking overall votes out of the poll and saying, no, 24%, this one got this. It ain't no
Okay.
100% pie.
Oh, okay.
This is like all the votes. Where we leave at number 3, that was Louisiana.
Okay.
Shock people. This one I think gonna shock you more because of your early answer that you got wrong. At number 4 is South Carolina.
Really?
Not North Carolina.
Because it should be North Carolina, right?
Nope. I got something to say about it. Because I go to Seneca, South Carolina all the time.
Okay.
All right. South Carolina barbecue is better than North Carolina barbecue.
I mean, South Carolina. I'm not gonna die on this. South Carolina barbecue is very good.
North Carolina barbecue is basically pulled pork. Let's be honest. Pulled
love
pork
pulled
sandwiches
pork,
with
though.
white sauce.
I love it though.
What they known for? What is North Carolina barbecue known for? Being overrated. All right? That's what it's known for. All right. Now, this one came up on nobody's radar, number
Okay.
5. I don't even think she could get this one right. Anna, help Jinx out. Number 5 state voted best barbecue. It's not North Carolina.
Missouri? Did we do Missouri? Kansas City?
It's not
I said
Missouri.
Missouri. That's a good
Missouri
one.
not even on
Okay.
the list.
Okay, barbecue.
This place is known for basketball.
Indiana?
They known for football now.
It's known for basketball.
Oh,
Wow.
not North Carolina?
Not North Carolina.
Okay, I'm thinking Michael Jordan.
I say Indiana too.
Yeah, not Indiana.
Midwest.
You're not saying Illinois.
Not Midwest. This is actually the Dust Bowl.
Oklahoma?
Kansas?
Kansas is
Oh.
ranked number 5 on this list as the number 5 best.
There's a Kansas City, Missouri, and a Kansas City, Kansas. Maybe they
Now
got
that's the
confused.
question. Is it the Kansas City, Missouri? Right there. Or is it Kansas City, Kansas? Which the Chiefs are moving to Kansas City, Kansas.
Yeah, I mean,
All right. Number 6. This place is known for hip hop.
hip hop, Georgia.
Georgia. Yes, it is. Now, let me round it off. Number 7, North Carolina.
All right.
Got to be feeling bad about that, ain't it? Number 8, Kentucky. What?
What?
That's what I'm saying. Must be the Jack Daniels sauce. All right.
Oh.
At number 9 is Alabama.
Alabama.
Alabama. And right there, next to his brethren, number 10 is Mississippi. We should be a lot higher on that one. Now, I know fans ain't going to agree with me. I did not make the list. I read the list. And people from North Carolina should get kind of angry that
Those
Kansas,
percentages are wild, by the way. They don't add up to 100% even close.
It's not about 100%. It's about just the vote, the power of the vote, which nobody voted for Kansas. I don't know how that happened.
For the Get Loud podcast. Let us know your favorite barbecue or where it's from in the comments.
What's the most underrated is what I want.
Okay. Answer this question.
Illinois.
See you next week.
The Get Loud podcast was filmed at the Big Bear AI Command Center Studios. Big Bear AI offers mission-ready AI for a rapidly evolving world and proudly protecting the Washington Commanders and his fans.
The views and opinions expressed by our podcast guests and or hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Washington Commanders or any of their representatives.